coming to precede a world beyond a cerebral crossing, you pit at your close as Taggle drew closer to haunt your friendly state of acquaintances. Taggle gave you more information than you ever had about this otherworldly place. Epiapia was strange, yes, but there were only so many things you could ask. You couldn't ask questions about anything that happened before. This was supposed to be your first time here. Instead, you questioned Taggle about what the age of existential nostalgia was. His eyes burst alight, and a smile stretched across his features, completely in his element. The red stars on his hat bounced towards you, as if excited themselves to hear Taggle tell the tale.
The age of existential nostalgia is the era in which we inhabit. Ages are measured in 7 threes of Epiapia, and are given their respective names as each new age begins.
He vaguely gestured to the night sky above.
The passage of time must be measured by the movements of the revulsion, and not the mappings of the celestial garden, as they are considered unreliable. Instead, the Epiapian calendar, as it exists now, was created independently of such charts.
Oh, okay. That was a whole explanation, wasn't it? A shame you didn't understand much of it. Taggle seemed happy, though. You were taking an interest in his strange world. Nodding politely, you asked how the names of these ages were decided.
Ah, that's a good question. I have no idea.
He laughed, and the gems of his pendants and necklaces collided, like the colours of a kaleidoscope.
Oh, but please don't worry. I'm not entirely hopeless. No one really knows for sure, but we'll find out soon. The next age is approaching, unless the revulsion has anything to do with it.
And the revulsion, you asked, what was it?
Yes, the revulsion. Once the dawn comes, you'll understand why we are all surprised to still be here.
Taggle sighed from the edge of his seat, legs swinging slightly as he gazed up at the horizon, distant, far off in his thoughts. You wondered the amount of time and age was in Epiapia. Taggle said it was 7 threes, but what exactly did that mean? You wondered what age Taggle was. Then you wondered if there were any such thing as ages for the people in Epiapia. If you asked for Taggle's birthday, would he understand what you meant by it? But it almost didn't matter. Oh, Taggle was something beyond such trivial matters. His presence was like a perfume, where magic would gather around him like silk, while his face held a soft, boyish youth. Something guarded deep within those green eyes of his. Burrowing into them would cause a fractal of emerald torment to escape. But then Taggle would blink, and the disorder would be wrenched back into place as quick as light. Perhaps things like time and ancient calendars weren't meant to be understood. Taggle didn't have all the answers, but maybe he knew about things closer to home. Shuffling forward in your seat, you urged to know where you both were exactly. Cruising down this river as long as you had, you'd become overly curious about the journey ahead.
We're in the Fertelt country, and if we carry on, we'll reach the nation of Adarine before dawn.
Goodness, you were heading towards another country. How many countries did Epiapia have? Speculating, if you could find a map, what would this world look like from a bird's eye view? Taggle quipped before you finished your thought.
And this river is called the Kylone River. It is the longest river in Epiapia. It travels through 4 different countries, in fact.
This river appeared to be beautiful and never-ending, if you were any judge. Pondering if this river was the same one you started this whole adventure at, all this talk of rivers reminded you of a certain someone. The last time anyone had been this friendly and helpful to you was when you met Clear Eyes. Clear Eyes? Her button. Looking down at where your pouch should be, you remembered nothing would be there. You had no pouch. Grasping at your trousers, every pocket your hand could find came back with nothing. Not a single thing. You yelped, crying out, you lost it. How could you lose it? It was supposed to be there.
Have you lost something?
Said Taggle, head tilted in bewilderment. Taking your time to gather your thoughts, you exclaimed to this perplexed wizard man, you had lost a button. It happened to be this size, comparing it to the rounded end of your thumb, this colour, comparing it to your silver attire, and this button was very important. Taggle pointed to your sternum.
Is that it there? The bump in your shirt?
Your hand slapped to your chest. There was something there, and there was more. 2 threads connected to the lump under your shirt, along your collarbone, and pulling around your neck. Peering down your wrap shirt, you found what it was. The necklace. Wrenching the chain up to your eyeline, the same silver chain greeted you. There, the cage pendant guarded the button of Clear Eyes. The same pendant from before. It had followed you here. Relief. Oh, thank God, it wasn't gone, it wasn't stolen or lost. It was still with you. You almost went to cry again. Somehow through everything the necklace stayed with you. You thought it had disappeared, just like the girl of Scarlet and her sisters, but the longer you thought about it, the more it made sense. You weren't supposed to take that amber shard, but the necklace manifested into reality for a reason. Clear Eyes' button must have been the reason. Quiet. Why had it gone so quiet? You looked at Taggle, whose mouth was open, transfixed at the sight of the button. Slowly, he approached you. His chest rose and fell rapidly, uneven.
It has to be.
Taggle's breath caught in his throat. It was the necklace, you thought. A pit of fear carved through your stomach. You swore tears pricked at his eyes as he stared, waiting for you to say something, but you didn't. Taggle went to reach for the button. You instinctively pulled back, but he had already frozen in place. Stunned. He had enough trinkets. Why did he want yours too? A familiar feeling ignited the atmosphere, one of fear and pain, the same absolute terror when you walked over Clear Eyes' bridge. Not this again. That sinking feeling, gravity increasing. But before anything could occur, Taggle snapped out of his trance, eyes ablaze like his whole world had crumbled around him.
No, never mind. This didn't happen. This never happened.
Taggle's face turned bright, fury in his features. Every word stung to hear, trying to deny what his eyes confirmed. The man clambered back to his seat, moving quickly while maintaining his balance on the now rocking boat. He cried.
I will pretend I didn't see your button, and you will pretend I never saw that thing.
Taken aback, completely shocked at his response, you explained you didn't know what this thing was. You thought it was a button, but perhaps that wasn't the case. You came down to his level, pleading that if he knew what this was, he had to tell you. Taggle snapped to you. He kept his eyes locked to yours, but not once did his gaze flicker down to your necklace. His voice almost quivered, but kept his emotions restrained through gritted teeth.
Please, don't. I wouldn't tell you, so don't ask me again.
And so, you didn't. Taggle turned away, facing the direction you were travelling in. You returned to your seat without a noise, tucking the necklace back under your shirt to not upset him any further. Well, now you were in two minds about everything. Happy you had found Clear Eyes' button, but saddened it had caused such tension between you both. Things, as usual, didn't make sense. If the necklace was always supposed to hold the button of Clear Eyes, why didn't it appear on your person the first moment you arrived? It came when Thameni had disappeared back when you were in the forest. Oh, but why wasn't anything simple to understand in this place? Necklaces. Were always causing so much trouble for you. The temperature dropped around you. You weren't sure if it was the tension between you both, or if Taggle had actively had something to do with it. Maybe not. You could see him shiver from the frigid air. When he turned to look at you from the corner of his eye, the lantern light illuminated the way the muscles of his face strained. He kept his mouth shut, not pressing any further. Instead, you leaned back and closed your eyes, taking a deep breath to relieve the growing tightness in your chest. After some time passed, Taggle cleared his throat to speak.
Do you know where you are going?
You opened your eyes. He had turned around again and approached you quietly, hesitantly. There was no malice behind his voice. It just made you wonder what kind of man travelled in this little white boat with you, so far from anywhere. You shook your head no.
Don't worry,
he said.
I won't leave you behind. I know it's frightening. It's supposed to be. But I am sorry for frightening you. You are just so unexpected. We will find where you need to go, and I will help you there. After all, I think I owe you a favor, don't I?
Taggle beamed you a smile. Kindness. Kindness is a currency. You returned his smile with a thank you and his name. In the quiet dead of night, you kept counting the cloud-filled trees as you waited to arrive in the land of Adorine. Hiya! Yeah, I've written it, I've done it, I've said what I've said, and now all the theories can begin. Ooh. You don't have to theorize, just writing a weird little story. You know, just me and my weird little imagination. Me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Well, but yeah, I'm going to write the next one, and we will see how it goes. I'm sorry. Anyway, I will say goodbye for now. Until next time. Take care. Bye bye.